Suspension time, present sir. Hey, Abdul Rashid Bawa. Tinubu doesn't suspend them. Hey, don't tell and say, I know what you are doing. Suspension goes Sarah. Yeah, day. On my phone, you never finish. Oh. People they go suspend, they line up. May you still check President Tinubu. Maybe they look up. Very soon you suspend yourself. Oh. In your for who not get wife. Oh. Who not get wife wey be say if they manipulate or say they do biddings in your for you. Hey God. Nigeria, not even know what they see. Oh man go they talk say, oh actually they both they talk say, now your wife, now you do help this person. Now your wife, now you help this person. I could wonder within myself, say, so you mean say this woman go don't do some kind thing we be say nobody fit think of, or because of say he want please the husband. You know, person go come, you go they talk say, my wife, my wife. Everybody could they wonder, say, your wife, a old Chief Justice of Nigeria. Hey, where till your wife gonna help people they do? Obedience. I salute now, and not forget to I greet to now. I greet to now where the news today and it's in hot. I want to bring out small way we say, una will just get the main gist and we move on. So Senator Adamu Bukachiwa, he can't come back to whether in the talk say the thing they pay now more, whether they do something to him, I don't understand. He gonna talk say he know what his wife don't contribute. He know how many people his wife don't help for this house, eh? Even to the yesterday, like one could tell and say, one could tell and say, hey, guy, where you dey go? Make you slow down, no. make you slow down, no. Otherwise, you go drag my own leg, come out to I beg, slow down. This Nigeria too full for drama. The same house, the same thing we see the talk la one. No. He not gonna when he come begin to confess yes now since I come out as president for APC now as if say no nominates me now I come back to house now. How you take come? The man could they wonder say Rochas could they say how you take come? Now don't let me understand how you take it here. Is it make you forget so? Is it not be everybody that get the same leg? Some get long leg, some get short leg. Plenty things today. As you see they talk this one even the Nigeria air see they one corner. You know say that gist wey be say when that Nigeria air come out I look at myself say Nigeria. In fact this our Buhari wey just come out so. He no fit tell us say he no know wetin happen for that Nigeria air. The man no fit deny am say no know wetin dey happen. Because it's not that I want to be tribalistic here. If you just look this whole thing we surround this Nigeria of a thing, now this northerners, they hold that treasure. They hold on for hand, gidigba. They hold on the tight arm. Because how come these people are just doing all these things and nobody is even knowing? Nobody know what they do. Until one day the thing will just expose. The thing you make wow. You go take Nigeria in the shock. How can you just launch something when you are about leaving? You want to come out office, you just can't launch out. We know over here one day, say Nigeria Air is even existing or they are planning it. Now that one they come make me come they wonder. That guy what they call that more. If one can they use big English, one can they confuse all those all those powers that for share when they look. It is say they be mumu. They talk say actually the one with display was not the main one. It was just trying to let us know how it would be in real life. If you most of you are if more than speak English, then they tell us say guy, come, just hold your side. All this your English, you not get where you go. The fact is that this Nigeria air when a chartered one have been our own, have been a Sirika na get them. Who get them? I don't want to come make Arise go interview Sirika. When they interview that guy, the guy was just talking. First of all, I'm not bring that video can't give now because I looked the video. I know something was amiss. Something wasn't right. The man body language. He they talk, he go they look. He go they talk, he go they look like this. He go they talk, he go they look. I was like, oh, this guy they look. Because normally when you're talking, you they look your audience. Those way they. So if something was distracting, the question is that what was distracting him? Who they tell her what you want to talk? Who they chook paper for him hand, they tell am say see as you want to talk am. Because the whole thing, the way that man talk that day, I no fit pick one thing come and say see wetin talk. Now this one they come make them come call Oyema come out. Oyema come tell them say, hey, I think I see that Sarika in gay five and or for grand. In go show the world all the things about what that man they do, all the money we don't chop. Time, confession time. This one a confession time. The confession it plenty. Now this video I want bring come give you now. Even the court proceedings where be say article he don't call INEC chairman come out. He don't tell INEC chairman say he need them. They can explain. You know, some not be only obi they bring evidence come on. They articulate, they say bring their own evidence come out against INEC chairman. Well, the all evidence is not far from each other. The one obedience brought and the one articulate brought. So it's almost the same thing. So articulate don't say call INEC chairman come out and say man, make it can answer all the same questions. So everything is just confession time, confession time, confession time. I'm gonna not see forget though, the student loan they one corner, and without the year say student not happy about the loan. But the question is that why are they not happy about the loan? Now this is the trick. In the haste to do those things we be saying promise to make Nigerians happy. He want make the youth happy by fire by force, like say tomorrow not day. He want me they happy by all means. That is why the guy is trying to just do all these things in the hurry. Now, we never see aid for fuel subsidy. It brings student loan come inside. It make other changes, so small other things will be say man, they are still yet to be solid. So for me, I feel it choke Nigerians. It's too much. Because even that student loan self, where you want to start from? Now, for most, they quote say for abroad, if you are not receiving out a certain level amount, you can't pay. Oh, that's true. If you can't pay, and when that money reach 10 years, the thing will waive off. That's one though. The second, the one I remember say that same money they go with bursary. Not only the school fees that they pay. So that be say you pay only school fees, no go pay bursary. You still pay that bursary. Now that bursary go make the person relax, really read well. The thing will enter your brain because you know what they think say, okay, you go they go school, you go they work. So when you guys are talking about school fees, also think about bursary. Or best still, tackle poverty. You get Nigeria tackle poverty. If you and me, if you afford food, every other thing na jara. If food is cheap in Nigeria, let's say everybody becomes a farmer one way or the other, and the government is just empowering individuals to start making farming, to start planting. And if food cheap for Nigeria, what is school fees? How much is school fees? You can be able to afford it. As far as not be private, as far as now government and university, you can afford it. But all the student loan, it not help issue at all. Nigerians are not happy about it. Like the student loan, it not help their problem, and they are not happy. I'll still bring the video, can't give you now, where they see talk, say, though they go meet Tinubu, tell them, say, they express their joy and everything, you know, and how it go take go about and make the whole thing this solid. But for me, I feel, say, that plan, just makes sense. Nigeria is too big. Let me use the word. It's too big. That project is too big. You go chop plenty money. That project too big. Even if you are paying to the school directly, majority of the universities go still get problem with the system because some students go fail. When I not forget that one, some students go fail. So what's going to happen to them? Are they going to give them another loan if they fail? So how is the system? What did they put in place? Because for abroad, that if you fail, and if you tell student finance, okay, see, you fail now. And maybe they don't say, maybe they don't help you before, you don't to accumulate some certain amount of money, they will not give you again. So what is the plan we be saying Nigerian government won't put in place in case students fail? Or in case students decide to withdraw from that course and want to start another course again where the school fees are more higher. So these are the things they should look at. Not just to say, hey, student loan, just like that. You guys should tackle poverty and electricity. First of all, poverty. Let there be food. Make food plenty. If food plenty, I tell you now, the rest na jara. My people may not be like say this video too long. I will show all now the evidence on a Bod TV board. But you can don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for my next video. Bye.
Adamu Bukachua, the senator representing Bauchi North, on Monday set social media abuzz after stating during a valedictory session of the 9th Senate that he often influenced his wife, Zainab Bukachua, a former president of the Court of Appeal's decisions while she was in office. Zainab is the first female to hold the position of president of the Nigerian Court of Appeal. In 2019, she was the chairman of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, but later recused herself from participating in adjudicating petitions filed by Atiku Abubakar, challenging the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, ahead of the 10th House, her husband, Adamu, revealed that his wife used her position as a judge to favor his colleagues in the Senate. Let's take a listen before we come back for a discussion.
At my age, I don't think I will lobby anybody under the sun. I would do the right thing, and I always do the right thing, and sincerely and honestly too. So, I know, I look at faces in this chamber whom have come to me and sought for my help when my wife was the president of the Court of Appeal. And I'm sure I'm...
Distinguished Senator Adam Ahmed Bulkacho, I think I would advise that you just round up and take your seat.
Name any names. We know ourselves. I must say that, okay, to round up, since that's what you want me to do, I will do that. And I must thank particularly my wife, whose freedom and independence I encroached upon while she was in office. And she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues.
Distinguished, please, I don't think this is a good idea going this direction. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Cracking up.
Not a good idea.
Hold on, let us take more reactions to this story.
It's a very good idea. God catch them.
God catch them. Well, a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olisa Agbakuba, has faulted the senator's comment, stating that the comment was a monumental disgrace for the judiciary institutions and that he deserves to be taken up immediately by the authorities, and that he has lost 3 cases presided over by Bukachiwa. And so the senator's comment seems to suggest why, calling it a blight on his confidence. Well, let me take a reaction. This one is from Chidi. He wrote, Adamu Bukachiwa so loved his wife that he had to take to the floor of the Senate to announce that she was a corrupt judge. Well, all right. In the same vein, a senator representing Imo West, Rochas Okorocha, during the valedictory session, said that the return of former Senate President Ahmad Lawan to the upper legislative chamber remains a mystery. Well, in a video that has now gone viral, Rochas asked Lawan to teach him how he returned to the Senate after losing the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. Let's take a look.
Again, we shall all stand to say Nigeria is a great country. And to those of you, our colleagues, including you, Mr. Senate President, you know you're a very smart politician. How you came back is yet another political book to discuss.
Sorry?
How you came back is another chapter in our political history.
How I came back from where?
How you return to the Senate as a senator will open another chapter of great discussion in our political book. Because I was there in the field with you running for president. I never knew how you were able to meander and return and leaving some of us. Next time you must teach me how to do that.
It was a treacherous journey because we had to go through the courts. I didn't even appeal.
All right, confession for confession. What can we do here? I would start with Bukachiwa about his wife. What do you make of that story, really?
Oji, I'm very happy this is happening. What a great time to be alive. God is a Nigerian. You can see what's happening underneath.
Yeah.
Sort of a very damning cover. If we're a sane country that truly wants to fight corruption, by now the authorities should be calling him to expatiate more on those colleagues that were helped. He can do it to get away with it, but what about others that their wives are not judges? Must we all go and marry judges now because we want to get something. And I'm happy Rochas Okorocha also raised that case.
Yeah.
Of the Senate. Even the incumbent Senate president, didn't the case go to court? Didn't the incumbent Senate president run for presidency? And we know how the case went through courts. You see, Nigeria has become a theater of the absurd. Overnight, when some people love you, you have done no wrong. But the moment you are at loggerheads with them, they would use everything to fight you. All of a sudden, Nigerians act like we don't see what happens. We don't see what happened in the process. All of a sudden, we have forgotten. But you see, like Rochas Okorocha said, that would be another political booklet to be opened. Mm-hmm. It will be on record the role our courts played. And we keep seeing all of that. But you see, I keep saying something, Oji. It is righteousness that we exalt a nation. And we are seeing them confess their sins out.
Absolutely.
Until we build in Nigeria, currently, like they say on social media, they play.
Yeah.
They play.
Olisa Ogbakoba described it as a monumental disgrace. He once by the former Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, on Sunday, while responding to the controversy surrounding Nigeria Air, have generated reactions from a cross-section of Nigerians. Sirika made the allegations on This Day Live. One out of the allegations was that the chairman of the House Committee on Aviation, Nolim Naji, asked for 5% shares of Nigeria Air to be given to him in an attempt to discredit Naji's earlier assertion that Nigeria Air is a fraud. Sirika stated that he had rejected Naji's request because the bidding process for Nigeria Air at the time was over, but that the 5% held by the federal government will eventually go to the market and that he could present his bid at the time.
I think I need to respond to my friend who said it was a fraud. Right Honorable Onalim, the former chairman of House Committee on Aviation. What I said to him in private, I will say it now. He asked me, just to give him some comfort, he asked me to please indulge him and give him 5% of the airline. That 5%, what I told him in private is that it belongs to the owners. And I believe they'll still be willing to offer him if you have the money. So it is not me giving it. I didn't get involved. It was a bidding process. And I'm very sure that they will have reserved 5% for him and his people according to him. So he should approach them to get his 5% that he needed.
The chairman of the House Committee on Aviation has debunked the claim made by the former minister. Well, in a statement released on Sunday, Naji stated that Sirika is a drowning man, struggling to grab anything on his way to survive the barrage of attacks he has been receiving since the controversial unveiling ceremony of the so-called Nigeria Air. Nolim added that it is not strange that Sirika came up with the scrupulous allegations against him because he had remained consistent in demanding that the minister followed due process. Well, let me take a tweet. This is from Joseph. He wrote, "This is the trite culture of corruption in Nigeria. Throw counter accusation at your accuser. I think an independent investigation needs to be carried out on the Nigeria Air project. Was the Association of Airline Owners of Nigeria, who opposed the project, also seeking 5%? Well, you know, the minister has come under fire for admitting during the interview that the aircraft brought into Nigeria was a chartered Ethiopian aircraft, when in actual fact, he previously claimed during a report with Channels TV that 3 aircrafts were purchased by Nigeria Air and that 1 out of the 3 purchased would arrive the country ahead of the said unveiling ceremony."
Friday, in 2 days, the Nigeria airplane will land in Nigeria, part of the processes to commence the operation. We will on that day unveil this aircraft with delivery and everything in Nigeria's colors, belong to Nigeria Air, and we will proceed to go and do the retrofit and bring back those airplanes.
All right, did you hear him say that the airline was belonging to Nigeria Air? This was on Friday that he made that comment. I mean, I think 2 days before May 26th, the unveiling ceremony. And previously he had claimed that, you know, it was going to be Nigerian aircraft that would arrive Nigeria. So what really happened here? I mean...
Well, you know, OJ, a number of questions after the interview with Mr. Alain Onyema. By the way, I would encourage you to watch it because it raised so many things that are quite disheartening, some of them quite shocking, or maybe not too surprising because we understand the way these things play out. But another question I want to ask is that what part of the interview with Senator Hadi Sirika was true? Because first of all, we found out that the aircraft he had promised that it was going to be Nigerian Air, and he said, no, it was just an unveiling. You know, we took it out of context. Second, Honorable Nolly has come out to say that he didn't ask for the 5%, right of reply. Today, Mr. Alan Onyema debunked a number of claims that he had made. But one of the things I'll just highlight from that interview is this, and that is the fact that why would the Minister of Aviation set out to discredit an industry that he was supposed to be protecting and investing in? Why are our chief marketers not looking forward to bringing out the best out of the aviation industry and seeing the potential? It seemed like an attack on not just Air Peace and his person, but on the local aviation industry. You are the Minister of Aviation. Your job, your task is to ensure that the industry works and you grow the industry. But unfortunately, what has happened again and again with the former aviation minister is that he discredits the industry. I do think, as has been recommended, that an independent investigation is carried out. And perhaps there should be a suspension on Nigeria.
I'm not going to sit down here to expose a lot of things for the sake of and love of nation. But I must point out certain things. For an ex-minister of aviation to come out to say indirectly or directly that his airline or an airline he supervised is so incompetent, leased 2 aircraft, paying $500,000 monthly for 18 months, incurring $19 million. And he was saying it, he was peddling falsehood barefacedly. He never blinked. He was speaking as a matter of fact that happened. Imagine the damage this minister had done to the image and reputation of Air Peace with what he has done as an incompetent entity. Meanwhile, he was peddling pure falsehood. How do we now believe every other thing he has said on that day? How do we believe that? So to start with, Air Peace doesn't have 2 777s. Air Peace has 3. And those 3 are outrightly purchased. 2 of those planes are in fact ex-Emirates. One is ex-Singapore Airlines. With everything you can think of inside those planes, they were outrightly purchased by Air Peace. Therefore, we never paid lease rental to anybody. We never incurred, in the first place, you can't even use $250,000 to rent a 777. How much do you pay for a single-aisle aircraft? No talk of a 777. So this is a minister trying to fool the entire nation in his desperate bid to fool everybody, to hoodwink the nation. He was peddling falsehood on Air Peace. So how do we as a nation believe every other thing he was saying out there? The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is there. You can contact Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. They're the regulators. He was in charge. He signed the import permit of that aircraft, or those aircraft. He signed the import permit. You cannot import any aircraft into the country without the Minister of Aviation approving. He signed the import. If it was going to be a lease, it's stated in the letter of application to bring in an aircraft. No aircraft comes into the country without the Minister of Aviation approving. He must be the one to sign the importation permit before you bring them in. So he did all that. And he knew quite well that those planes were not leased. They were not rented. They were fully paid for. And he told the entire world that we leased those planes and just to make us look bad. And at the same time, praising Ethiopia, his partners.
So now you've come out to debunk what the former Minister of Aviation has said. The first question is, was Air Peace, your organization, or perhaps any local operator, interested in partnering with the Nigerian government for Nigeria Air at any point? Were there any moves made? And what was the outcome? If there was any resistance, why? Why didn't they want to work with local operators despite what he said on air? That was because they lacked capacity. What's the real reason then?
I'll give you the history of this whole struggle. Contrary to what the minister had been saying about Nigerian Air and the importance of having a national carrier. National carrier is a moribund idea worldwide. Countries don't go that route anymore. It's a drain on any country. Those who are in it are running out of it. National carrier, the phrase national carrier means government ownership. What countries do these days are flag carriers. British Airways is a flag carrier. It's owned by the IAG group. Just very few countries that are still into the national carrier thing, like South Africa. And you look at South Africa Airways is bleeding the treasury of South Africa. Several times they tried to close it. Unions will come fighting. The government is tired. Air India was out there for sale for over 10 years. Nobody tried to touch it because of the baggage. But recently, Tata bought it over. So they've divested. Countries don't go that route. Why should Nigeria in 2023 be going backwards instead of moving forwards? All they needed to do is to strengthen the ease of doing business so that people of means, private concerns of means will come and invest in the aviation industry. We are not fighting for ourselves. They told, we are afraid of competition. The airlines of Nigeria are afraid of competition. Nobody is afraid of this national carrier because it will fall and fail like a pack of cards. It's already there. What we are saying, AON, is this. Improve the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Remove those challenges that are stunting the growth of airlines in Nigeria. And these airlines will blossom. Do that, they didn't do it. Okay, when they wanted to do the national carrier, we gave our comments. Most people stood against it. When we saw that they were going to do it, we knew the whole thing was shrouded in secrecy. Our members told APs, okay, apply. When you went to that website, you'll be blocked. You never got anywhere. We did. Forget what they say out there. We did. The bidding. Let them see. What else do you need to know? Sakol is part of this group. He named Sakol as part of this group. I'm not going to say on television certain things because I don't like heating up the politics.
Please say it. Please say it. Say it for the sake of the healing of this country.
Sakol has said it all on the floor of the National Assembly. On the day he announced this national carrier thing, the minister told us sovereign wealth was part of it, 5%. NSIA. Sakol and MRS, 46%. Ethiopia, 49%. Within hours, NSIA told him to withdraw that statement. So what else are we talking about in this country? What else do you need to know? If you could come on television to announce these are the successful bids, they must have presented a bid and they said, we are not part of it. And the letter came and they said it was a mistake. Now Sakol came on the floor of the National Assembly and said, they don't know what you're talking about. And they used the worst language I've ever heard. They described the entire activities as whitewash. The video is there. We're all there at the National Assembly. Sakol. And someone like Taiwo Afolabi should be thanked by Nigerians. Sakol should be thanked by Nigerians. If not for Sakol, a lot would have happened. It's Sakol's refusal to put their signature on something that will shortchange the economy of this country that saved this nation, nothing more. And those of us in AON, the AON that went to court, and we knew fully well that they might penetrate AON and destroy our ranks. 5 airlines came out and stood up and put their names on that suit. So that in case you destroy AON, the other ones, they have locus in law to do this. And those airlines are Max Air, Asman, Airpeace, Tobras, and United Nigeria. On Sunday, when you ask the question, why Airpeace? Because he must have mentioned Airpeace up to 15 times. I don't know what Airpeace has done to him. He said, okay, not only Airpeace, and again, Obiora Okonkwo of United Nigeria. And he deliberately forgot to mention the other ones. Are we trying to play the ethnic cards? Thank God the leadership of Dr. Abdulmunaf Yunus Sarina has given AON a teeth to bite. That man is a nationalist. Dahir Manga is from Katsina State. He owns Max Air. Dr. Abdulmunaf Yunus Asarina is from Kano State. He owns Azman. Both of them, myself, APC, Top Brass, owned by Roland Iyayi, and Obiora Okonkwo of United Nigeria, went to court. And those people are still in court. So it's not an ethnic thing, it's a Nigerian thing. Okay. And today, I have to use this opportunity to congratulate our brother, Alhaji Dahir Manga. He's launching his first 777 today, yet we don't have capacity.
Okay, so one of the things says that you don't have capacity, but I see that you are having partnership with the government of Antigua. Other countries are calling you to come and help set up their national flag carrier, but they say you don't have capacity. I want you to respond to that. And also, you don't have capacity, but during COVID-19, you went to everywhere Nigerians were to bring them back home when COVID-19 was raging on and all of that. And you've also helped with evacuation. But the conversation about you not having capacity, I mean, what would you like to say as regards all of that? And why I kept on saying say it is because the things we live on say destroy our country. Say the absolute truth. How do you feel being treated this way, with the Minister of Aviation? And also the certification. Did Nigeria Air pass that certification, the AOC certification and all of that? Please, I want you to tell the absolute truth about how you've been treated this way and other airlines so that Nigerians will know the truth. We keep saying we don't want to talk, This country keeps getting destroyed every day. We want to be the voice of the people. Let the people know.
Rufai, the truth is, I'm a student of nonviolence education. So sometimes there are things we manage in order not to hit up the politics somehow. But the truth is this, we have to speak up. That's why we went to court in the first place. Now, he said we don't have capacity. All those falsehoods were meant to demean the local operators, the indigenous Nigerian airlines, in favor of this charade they've put up with Ethiopia. That's all. To be allowed, even at the fake meetings. How many times, even the former president, Muhammad Buhari, shut down this national air project at a time. One man is just hoodwinking the country into believing that this is needed. All they need to do is to set up a strong flag carrier. If you provide the enabling environment for people to operate, more people will invest in the system. Now about capacity. He told the world that we are low in capacity. He told the world on television that APC was giving Dubai to conduct flight operations into Dubai. Are they flying now? APC is no longer flying to Dubai because they are low in capacity. I say, whoever advised Senator Hadi Sirika to come on television to defend the indefensible has not done him any good. And the Minister of Government came out there and said, we don't have capacity. And we did all this. And recently, we deployed to Sudan. We deployed to Sudan to bring back Nigerians free of charge. Yet we don't have capacity. Where was Ethiopia? Did Ethiopia do that? I'm going to come to Ethiopia. Ethiopia wanted what they are doing now with the national carrier. They wanted to do it with me. For love of country, I turned it down. April 10, 2019, in a letter. They came to me. They wanted APC to collaborate with them. They took us to Addis Ababa. We signed MOU. And they said in the MOU, we need to push out Gulf carriers. I said, no problem. Mind you, I'm very proud of what Ethiopia has achieved as an airline. They're the pride of Africa. I like what they've achieved, no doubt. So we tried to collaborate. Then when we got to the nitty-gritty of the meeting, what they wanted was to come into this place, do local flying, then use APC consign to fly the whole world, about 150 basa, while paying me royalties, paying APC royalties. I said, I would have been getting millions of dollars. And one of them joked, Alan, you don't need to be buying planes again, nothing. I said, where does this leave my country? In the letter I wrote to them, I said, where does this leave my nation, Nigeria? You will destroy the jobs in Nigeria. You will kill the other airlines. No, sir, please. You will kill the other airlines in Nigeria. And APC will be growing. Airline and APC will be swimming in millions of dollars. So we rejected it in a letter. It's documented and it's in court today. So for people saying that we are afraid of competition, if I was afraid of competition, I had them on a platter of gold. I would have taken it, that offer, and I'll sit down. If I knew you were going to give me 5 minutes, he was giving about 20 or 40 or 60 or 1 hour to talk. I wouldn't have come in the first place because I need time to debunk so many of the things he said. If I knew I was going to spend 5 minutes and go, I wouldn't have come here in the first place.
You see, today we called our star witness who gave very robust evidence. And you see, in the course of his evidence, he also tendered those video clips, very important video clips, showing the INEC chairman making the commitment to Nigerians for that real-time transmission of the results by the beavers machine to the IREF. And you see, with that established, we are very, very happy with what has happened today. And he also tendered even screenshots from the IREF. You saw the documents tendered. So when we now mentioned that we had subpoenaed the INEC chairman, you can see that there are some documents we tendered and they objected to. But now we are also subpoenaing them to come by themselves and produce those documents. Those documents, let them produce them themselves so that we know whether they will object or not object to the ones they will produce by themselves.
Before this Tuesday, the PDP had brought a total of 18 witnesses to help with its case, as it seeks to nullify Tinubu's victory at the presidential polls held on 25 February. And the party called 2 additional persons, including a special witness, to help Atiku's case at the Presidential Election Court. The special witness, who was PDP National Coordinator of its Situation Room during the presidential election, tendered 3 video evidences in separate flash drives. The first is a video of INEC's chairman where he stated there's no going back on the use of beavers devices on election day, as well as the upload of results onto IREF real-time. The second is that of Festus Okoye, an INEC National Commissioner, stating that if there's sustained malfunction of the beavers, the election will be postponed to the next day. And the third is that of the European Union Election Observer Mission, which stated that INEC only began uploading results onto the IREF at 10 p.m. on election day. At the close of the day's proceedings, Atiku's lawyer, Chris Uche, informed the Justice Haruna Samani-led 5-member panel that the subpoena had been issued on the INEC chairman to appear before the court.
When we now mentioned that we had subpoenaed the INEC chairman, you can see that there are some documents we tendered and they objected to. But now we are also subpoenaing them to come by themselves and produce those documents. Those documents, let them produce them themselves so that we'll know whether they will object or not object to the ones they will produce by themselves.
Meanwhile, in the Labour Party petition hearing earlier in the day, reports of INEC result viewing portal IREF from 5 states were tendered in evidence.
The new student loan bill or law, the students are coming out to say it's discriminatory. When the president made the announcement, we thought, a lot of people thought it was a relief.
Yeah, people will be excited about it.
Yeah, so how discriminatory is it?
The unemployment rate, 33.3%, and still, climbing. How realistically can the average student who graduates from university, how quickly can they get a job? Some 2 years, 5 years, still no job. How are they going to be able to pay back? But let's quickly go back to Professor Benjamin Ozumba is ready to speak with us now. He's the former Vice Chancellor of University of Nigeria and Nsukka. It's so good to have you on Newsnight tonight. Still on that issue, let me just bring that quickly to you. The issue of unemployment rate over 33%. How do you expect, how realistic is it that the student who graduates can actually find himself in a situation where he can pay back as quickly as possible. Is that a concern, or should it even be a concern?
It is a concern, but it is surmountable. All we need is to take cue from other countries that have done it. I mean, look at the United States of America, look at Africa. America said, the president said this year, if you earn less than $125,000 a year, you don't pay. It's been clarified. If you have money, you pay. If you don't have money, you don't pay. It is a soft loan. Every other country in Sub-Saharan Africa has done that. I was invited in a meeting in Malawi, Southern Africa, in 2018, and I made a report to the Ministry of Education immediately about the need for this loan. And I'm particularly happy today that it has come to pass. We have means of getting back the money. We have artificial intelligence. We have blockchain technology. We have social media. It is not a commercial loan. The answer is, if you have money, you pay. If you don't have money, you don't pay. It's an investment by Nigeria, which will help to generate more jobs. If the people work, they improve the economy. So I think it's even a shot in the arm for the economy to get more people into the workforce. You talk about unemployment of the 3%. These people, when they are properly educated, will help to drive the economy. So I think it is also a shot in the arm for the economy. That's the way I look at it. It's a question of functionality.
Professor, thank you for your insight. Now, no doubt, this idea, this students' loan will help capital retention in Nigeria, and this is really fantastic. Speak to us about those who might decide to go into entrepreneurship immediately after school.
That is where I come into place. I set up the first university-based technology hub in the country, the ROA Technology Hub. This is where the government has now to come in. I'm happy that the discussion has started. Many things have to come into place to drive the economy. Because I'm sure that soon after this, the National Innovation Bill, which I'm pushing, which is virtually waiting for the presidential assent, will come into play. Various countries are asking, what is happening? Benjamin, what is happening? We've had an international conference. They came and met the former vice president, the man who started the first science park in Sweden. Is asking, what is happening? We've set up the first university-based science and technology park in the country, the Lion Science Park, University of Nigeria. Innocent have built a tractor factory, have produced laptops which are presented to the former president. And more industries are coming. So this is entrepreneurship. We train our people who go to get self-employed in the university. We are yet to start that. Like in the University of Nigeria, we've set up something that functions by the triple helix, which is the academia, the industry, and then the government. The government is just to play its role. But I'm sure with this one, it's a shot in the arm. The government will come in, and the students will become more employable. When they learn about coding, I'm expecting statements to be made on the fourth industrial revolution. Our students have not learned coding where they can stay here and work. What India did, work for developed countries. And then the students will help to kickstart the economy. That is it. Make our students employable, more gainful university-based education. As an educationist, I've seen this happen. It is possible. It has been done. It's for the government to come in, and we are waiting for the government to plug into this aspect after signing this bill.
Let's stay with you, Professor. I mean, you speak of employability, and that seems to be a challenge right now that, you know, some would say has contributed to the high unemployment rate that we find in Nigeria. As an academic yourself, what kind of, you know, reviews do you think or reforms would you expect in the university system in a way that will make education functional, in a way that actually prepares you for the real world after you've left the four walls of a classroom?
Yeah, this is a very germane topic. As I said, the curriculum has to be better reviewed. I'm happy NEC is doing a lot in that direction. Make it a more functional curriculum. What are the students actually learning? They're going to the university. what are they learning? Are they learning things that can help to improve the society and the economy? Are they learning things that will engender more anomie in the society? The students, I was totally perplexed as the vice chancellor of university. You see roads being constructed right adjacent to universities. The faculties of engineering are not part of it. They give it to major construction companies. They don't involve our faculties. I mean, steps must be taken. We have agricultural departments. They don't have agricultural parks in the universities, and people learn agriculture. I made sure I set up even ginger producing factories and so on and so forth, cattle ranches in the university. This is important. This is how to make our education functional. There must be the industrial and the practical components to our education. Our students must be involved in the challenges. Other countries have done that. We talk about the Asian tigers and so on. When are we going to have the Nigerian lion, the African lion?
When are we going to have the Nigerian lion? Very, very great point there, Professor. Yeah.
I'm also thinking this could be an opportunity for a win-win situation for Nigeria, because he will pace the pipe, of course, the tune they say. So then, can this be an avenue for the government to try to influence the students to pay more attention to STEM?
It is, as I said, this is a very important and welcome move and direction by the government. What has happened is that maybe some people have not been carried along in enacting the bill and so on. I've heard about the academic staff union calling it dead on arrival. I think people need to be better informed. That is the way I look at it. If we are better informed and understand the bill better, I will see that it's a win-win situation for the students, for the society, for the government. As I said, I've had very unfortunate experiences. My first time as the vice chancellor, a student they were passing in front of the podium to receive certificates from me, and one slipped in a note, which I read when I went home. He said, if not for you, I would not have graduated today. I became the best graduating student in engineering. I didn't know about that. When I read the whole letter, he said there were 10 of them who were told that they would not do the exam, that they have not paid school fees. I was so touched. I said, get admitted into any university, anywhere in the world, I'll pay for it. What I meant was, please, come back. I'll try to see if I can arrange TED Fund scholarship for you. But I've said it. Within 6 months, he got admission to Columbia University, United States of America, to do a master's in engineering. I got arranged for his school fees. Today, he's a world-class engineer who could have lost such a material. You go to a cyber cafe, because as an academician, I'm always worried. Why are you not in the university? Why are you not moving forward? They will laugh. Sorry, there are no money, no fees. And what do these children go to do? They go to practice hookup and so on and so forth. These are people who could have been better trained to help the society. These are better children who would have trained to help to improve the economy or the social environment. This is a win-win for the students, for the families, for the government. This is how other countries started. How did China make it? They had an educated workforce, and the Americans came to use them, and then they overtook the whole world. Do we have an educated workforce in Nigeria today? Are we hoping to get one? What are we teaching them? Are we giving scholarship just for, I'm sorry, I'm not rendering any discipline. Is it just for ecumenical courses? Or are they doing things that concern the whole world for digital economy and so on? This is the issue. We have to rejig the economy, the curriculum.
This is Bod TV Bod. In case the first time you come here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more uploads.